Vidya, from the industry's perspective, you went from the actress who could do no wrong to the actress whose every choice was proving to be wrong.
Yeah.
Did the back-to-back failure of Ghan Chakkar, Shaadi Ke Side Effects and Bobby Jasoos rattle you?
I think when Ghan Chakkar didn't work, I was devastated. I was like, what? How can this happen? I kept thinking every day that the numbers are going to get better the next day. I said, no, there must be something, I wanted to just explain it away. And then, of course, I, accepted that it hadn't worked. And I went through the normal, I think, conversations that actors go through with themselves, saying, should I have not done this? Should I have done this any differently?
Right.
Should we have made the film any differently? Have we gone wrong here, there and everywhere else? But I think time helped me realize that, none of us could have done anything differently. And more importantly, even if we had, one doesn't know if it would have worked.
True.
When they say that har film ki kismat hoti hai, it is actually true. So I came to terms with that, and then I'm an eternal optimist, and I was very sure about Shaadi Ke Side Effects. And people were loving the promos. So I said, okay, now, just that's over and done with.
Right.
Then that didn't work. So I was like, what the hell? And actually speaking, Rajeev, I was not keeping very well. But I wanted to probably opt out of Ghan Chakkar, not that I voiced it to anyone,
Right.
only because I was going to get married. And I felt like, oh my God, if I opt out of a film at this stage, they're going to say she's slowing down because of marriage.
Right.
So I also came under that pressure, and then I got married. Then Shaadi Ke Side Effects was due to happen, and I said, now I'm married,
Right.
And then they're going to say the same thing. So I can't opt out now. And then I did Bobby Jasoos also the same way. Not that, I would have done it any differently. I was very convinced about each of those films. But I'm just saying maybe also somewhere health-wise, I feel, I should have probably paid a little more attention. And I don't know if that has any bearing on anything, but I just feel in retrospect that I should have had the courage to take that break. Maybe also had another perspective, maybe better energy on a film, Anyway, those films didn't work, and with Shaadi Ke Side Effects, I was a little less deflated.
Right.
With Bobby Jasoos, I was even less so. But I think I'm the kind of person who grieves. So I like to get it out of my system. I cry, I'm upset, I'm angry, I feel like a victim, and I'm saying, okay, it didn't do well because of these reasons. And I go through all of that, but I let it go finally and then move forward.
But did you feel persecuted at that point? Did you feel one moment they love me, next moment they're writing me off?
No, the other growth that has happened during this time is a realization that I think the industry perceives you differently because it is a business.
Sure.
And your saleability.
Only as good as your last release, unfortunately.
Your saleability is under question. But audiences don't feel any differently about you.
True.
And I experienced that. Every time I went out to promote a film, not that people were reacting to me any differently or any less. So I said, that gave me a better perspective. That gave me a larger perspective. And I said, it's not like... I don't have or I don't enjoy their love anymore.
Right.
It's just a question of a film working. And I guess then, you go through I also, because I went through that patch of ill health when I was at home, I got a lot of time to think and process.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just in a better space now mentally.
Does it help that you're married to a film producer who understands the business and who understands that it's fickle?
I think it definitely helps because he's got another perspective.
Right.
Having said that, he's someone who's very non-judgmental and very quietly supportive. So if I'm saying something, he's not going to, falsely reassure me.
Right.
And at the same time, he'll show me the larger picture.
Sure.
Because he has an understanding of the larger picture. So I think it helps. It helps that he's also in a way I don't know, I'm extremely emotional and he's the calmer one.
Okay.
So that balance is struck.
Vidya, it's human nature, isn't it, when another actor's film is doing well and one's own film isn't, to be a little envious? What
Yeah.
went through your mind when you saw, say, Piku or Tanu Weds Manu Returns?
I loved the films. As a matter of fact, I've loved Margarita with a Straw
Sure.
also, and Dam Laga Ke Haisha, and NH10. So, I'm not holier than thou or anything of the sort, but having said that, I don't feel threatened.
It's nice.
So I think I don't feel envious. Also, these women have played the roles so well that I couldn't imagine anyone else, even myself, in any of those roles. They left no scope for anyone to imagine.
Okay.
Thankfully, I've had that always. I've never envied anyone or grudged anyone their success.
Vidya, the character you play in your new movie, Hamari Adhuri Kahani, you play a woman whose oppressive husband treats her like his property. She's a victim of domestic abuse.
She's not a victim of domestic abuse in the way we understand it, because it's not a recurring phenomenon.
Okay.
But yes, she represents middle class morality. She's been brought up to believe that you're married to this man, and now तुम्हारी अर्थी वहीं से उठेगी.
Right.
So you have to make do with whatever happens in that house.
Were you ever concerned that it might come off regressive?
I think for me, even if she comes across as regressive, I don't mind it, as long as at the end there's a change that happens.
Sure.
I think because everyone is not born strong. All of us evolve into stronger people. Experiences make us strong. And especially given her background, she couldn't have been any other way. I think that's what I like. The fact that she's real, she's regular, she could be the person sitting next to you.
Right.
And she's a career woman. She's a working woman. She's a florist in a 5-star. And you'd imagine that financial independence would give her some sort of, but no, she's tied down by tradition. So I think even if it comes across as regressive, I know that at the end, there is a turnaround.
Okay.
Which is most important for me.
In other news, you've been conferred an honorary doctorate by Ahmedabad's Rai University
Yes.
for your contribution to cinema and for empowering womanhood. Now, as someone who comes from a family that I know pays great emphasis on academics,
Yeah.
I'm guessing it must make your parents very proud this
Oh,
honor.
extremely. As a matter of fact, my father had a heart attack when I was 9 years old, and thankfully he survived it, and God bless him. But at that time, I decided that I wanted to study to be a doctor. And of course, 2 years later, I decided I want to be an actor. And I forgot all about being a doctor, but see how the universe has just, paid heed to my desire as a child, and it's playing out now. I could have never imagined that I'll actually have a doctor added to my name, but it is a huge honor.
Well, Dr. Vidya Balan, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.